Hello everyone and welcome to our Divi feature update live. If you can hear me loud and clear, please just give me a thumbs up or just say yes in the comments box so we get off to a very good start. Okay, so this is our Monday Divi feature update live, streaming every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern, both on YouTube and Facebook. Now, if I'm sounding a bit off, it's because I've got hay fever. It's really hot here, and I think the pollen levels are really high. So I've been suffering a bit from hay fever. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are streaming on both Facebook and YouTube. I'm just checking here to see any responses. Okay, I've got a lot of yeses, so that means we are off to a very good start. And also, I'd like to welcome everyone for joining me today. We have Masin saying hello. We have Arun, Ishan. We have Luke Fry, Victor, Eduardo, Monique Robinson. Good to be here. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you. Govan, Safraz. We also have Dr. Steve Turner saying hi, Mac. Hey, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it. We also have Sammy, Vitaly from Ukraine. We have also Toronto Hotspot saying bonjour. Sidesh, I think, saying hello as well. Awesome, awesome. We also have Osama from Dubai. This is great. Let me just check here on Facebook. We have also quite a lot of people tuning here from on Facebook. We also have Bianca from Berlin. We have Ricardo, Manuel, Amin, Nosef, Simone. Awesome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today, I have a really exciting feature which was released last week. Now, for those of you that didn't see me in our live stream last week, it's because we had some few final changes that we had to do to our feature. So it was a last minute thing. So I really apologize if you're really looking forward to that. Okay, so what we're talking about today is fluid styles. So what fluid styles are, in fact, it's quite difficult to explain. So what it is in a nutshell is you can transfer styles between elements. So let's say you work on a heading text and you're happy with the way you've structured it and you want to apply that style across your website. You can just copy it and paste it everywhere. In fact, like I said, it's a bit confusing if I try to explain it. So let me show you what that looks like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over here to my desktop. Okay, so I've just loaded this page from a layout pack, which you can also have access to. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this font right here. Okay, so I'm going to go in, click on the gear icon to go into the text settings, and let's just check what type of heading this is. So I'm just going to click here, and now I can see it's heading 3. Okay. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and zoom in so you can see what I'm working on. So I'm just going to save this page. Exit the visual builder and then try and zoom in so you can see where I'm clicking. Okay. I think that's better. Right. So okay, so I'm going to come in here in this text, in this heading. I'm going to click the gear icon, and I can see this is heading 3. Great. So all I have to do now is come over here to design. So this is where you copy all your styles from. So I'm going to go into heading text, click on heading 3. So let's make some changes to this. So I'm going to come over here and let's choose a different font. Let's go with Lato. All right, so that's a bit different. We're also going to change the color. Okay, and let's also make it all caps. So I'm just making these changes so we can really see them being applied. I don't want to use like subtle changes. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the size a little bit. Okay, so I think that's better. Great. So now that I've done this, let's say I want to add this heading throughout my website. Maybe I want to add it here. I also want to add it here and also here. Now, what I would have to do is I would need to go to each and every one of this and make that change. And as you can see here, I've made quite a few clicks. This takes me a very long time to do. So now with this style, all I have to do is to right click over here. Oops. Let me go back in. Right, so all I have to do is to right click. Not sure why it's my mouse. This is strange. Right, let me just close this and reload my Visual Builder, because my right click is not working for some reason. And this is what happens on a live show. Right, okay, let me just click restore. And let's try and right click. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here, go into my module settings, click on design, heading text. So we are on H3. This is strange. Right, let me reload this. I promise I was working on this earlier and it was working fine. Okay, so let me create a new page. Okay, I'm just going to call this test. Use Visual Builder. And I'm going to go into my expand settings and add a layout. So I'm going to come back over here, load this one up. So the other thing that's also happening here with my computer is, as I'm live streaming, things are quite slow because live streaming takes a lot of memory as I'm working here. So that could also be the reason. It's not the feature that's not working. I can assure you that. Okay. And by the way, if you have any questions, please do leave your questions in the comments box, and I will do my best to respond to those questions. Okay, right. So let's try this one more time. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this because I don't need that section. Right, so I'm going to go in here into my text settings. This is heading 3. I'm going to come over here to design. And then I'm going to change this font. Later. Now it's working. As you can see, if I right click, you can see copy heading styles. Okay. That almost gave me a heart attack. I was starting to sweat now, thinking that maybe something is wrong with my install. Okay, so let's make those changes again. So I've changed the font to Lato. I'm going to come over here. Let's make it light, all caps, and let's reduce the size because that's a bit too big. Right, okay, and let's change the color. I'm going to go with, okay, let's go with that. But it's a bit too thin. Okay, let's use regular, okay, because we can't read it. Next, I'm just going to add some letter spacing. Maybe 1 will do. Okay, so now let's say I want to add this text, all these changes that I've done right now. I want to add this font to different parts of my site. So what I can do now is I can just right click, copy heading styles, and then I can just paste them wherever I need them. So let's say I want to add it here. All I have to do is to right click. Okay, in fact, let me save this. Right click, I'm going to paste. So now you can see that all the styles that we created here are now being applied. Okay, I'm going to do it here as well. Right click, paste heading styles. I can even do it here. Right click, paste heading styles. So if you've worked for quite a while, making sure that the headings are of a specific style, color, and so forth, and you want to add them throughout your site, this is the easiest thing that you can do. Now, when does this scenario really come up? So if you really think about it, let's say you've designed this page, the client is happy with it, and then they change their mind and they say, okay, you know what? I don't want to use, let's say, Poppins as the font. Can you change all the font instances to, let's say, Lato Light? So you would have to go into each and every one of these instances and make that change. That's just the reality. So with this feature now, you can just copy one style, right? And then just right click, paste all over your site where you need to make those changes. So this is fantastic, and it will save you a lot of time. Now, we believe that we are the only page builder out there that has this feature. I may be wrong, and if I am, please do correct me in the comments box. Okay, so now we've just done the text, okay? This also applies to pretty much all our design elements. Let me show you how. So let's say I want to make some changes to this. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I want to use this background here, this background, okay? So I'm going to go into my settings, click on background. I'm going to right click, copy background. Now I want to apply that background here on this blurb. So if I right click and paste the background, you can see now that just by doing those 2 clicks, I've now added my background. Now, if you were to do it manually, in fact, I thought I was showing you this. Sorry about that. Okay, I have to step back. Right, let me just back up a few moments. Right, let's do it one more time. Okay, so let's say I need to copy this background style with the gradient style and everything. So let's say I come over here to my settings, go into background, right click, copy gradient colors, or you can just copy here on this word background, copy background, and then if I come here, I can easily right click and paste the background. So you can see it's copied all my styles, my gradients and everything. So that is just really, really fast, and it's awesome. And let's say I want to do the same. Let's say right here, I can just right click, paste background. Okay, so it applies to blurbs. It also applies to sections. It also applies to rows. So this is a very quick way of making these changes. Okay, let's say I want to make a change to this button right here. I'm going to save this. I'm going to come to the button and do a bit of work on it. So I'm going to go into my module settings, click on design. Now, before I continue and make changes to this button, I'd like to check if there's any questions, because I'm sure you have quite a lot of questions with this new feature. Okay. Dr. Steve Turner says, very cool. This will save so much time. Yes, indeed. I mean, I was playing with this over the weekend, and yes, I mean, it does save a lot of time. In fact, there were cases where I would design my page and then think to myself, don't like that font. And just the thought of going into each and every section or each and every module and making that change is really, crazy. So this is a really, really good feature. Okay. I've got Shanu, I think, saying, hello, I'm from India. Please answer my above question. I'm waiting. Right. Let's see. What's the question? Right. I'm just scrolling back here to see where that question is. Okay, the question is Divi free layouts or templates is not showing on mobile. It's not working on mobile browser. Right. Shanur, this live stream is mainly discussing this feature that has just been released. It's not really for support. So I would recommend that you go to our main website and open a support ticket. Because if I start answering questions that don't really relate to this live stream, I'll lose my chain of thought, and also it just doesn't benefit everyone else, because this is a Divi feature update live. So I'm really sorry about that. I would really like to answer those random questions, but please let's stick to questions that relate to this feature. So I would like to know, any questions that you can ask me about this feature so that it benefits you as you use it moving forward. And also, I'd also like to mention that this feature is in our latest update. So if you haven't updated Divi, you need to update to the latest update. That's how you'll get these features. Otherwise, you will not get these features that we're discussing today. Right, let's take a look. I think it's Govan says, this looks so good. I'll be using the features if I had the theme. I just like the theme. I'm new to WordPress, and on many videos I've watched, Divi came up on top. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Govan, for that. Costa says, could you make a miracle so that I could talk to a Divi platform and ask it to develop a particular website like a robot? That is really funny. Right. Excellent. Oh, we also have JR. Nice to see you, JR. Thank you for tuning in. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to check here on Facebook as well and see if you have any questions. And Bianca says, what about the icons? Is this possible to change them like that? Right. What I'll do as well is I'm going to go in and try and see if we could do that with the icons. We also have a very interesting question here, which says, Matt, can we paste it when you paste it to other modules if we change the page? Okay, I'm going to... Right, it always has to happen. You know what? This is crazy. All right. The question here is, and I think this is a very, very interesting question, and I haven't tried this, by the way. So let's see if I copy and paste it on a different page, if that works. Okay, so I'll be doing that later on. Nosub says, can't wait until Divi inclusive AI. Awesome. Usman says, is it possible to create global heading styles so that if you had to go into one and change a tiny design element, it would be applied across another one? Usman, yes, we do have global styles. So what you would do with the global styles is you design your heading, as you're mentioning here, and you make it a global item, right? So once you make it a global item, if you change one instance, it goes across and changes everything. So there's a slight difference to this, because with the global styles, it'll be quite difficult to apply that style to each and every other module. What I mean by that is, let me just come here and show you what I mean. Because I've also had this question over the weekend where people are asking me, why can't we just use global styles instead of doing this? Okay, so let's go in here and let me show you. So right now, let's say you created a global style for this, right? Or let's say you created a global style for this for this heading. Now, if I want to go in and apply this style, this text style, onto other places, like for example here, it wouldn't work. Let me show you how. So let's say, let me close this. So let's say I come into here and I go into my settings. This is my normal text. I'm going to come here to design and go into text, right click, copy styles, right? So now if I come to hot yoga and paste my style here, in fact, let me save this. You can see immediately my text styles have been now added here. So that is where the difference is. So a global module will just work, across to that particular item that you've made a global item. It doesn't go across other modules. I hope I'm making sense with this. Okay. Right. So we've added that. If I right click here as well, and paste the styles. In fact, let me go here. In Oh, and this is the thing. The workflow as well is you have to remember to go into the item that you've added the styles to. For example, just now live, I was trying to right click to see if I could copy the styles. It doesn't work. What happens is if you right click here, you can only copy the module styles. Okay. So if you want to copy the styles, you would need to go into the module settings and then go into design, text, and then copy the text styles like this. Okay. And then paste them. So that's how this would work. Okay. So now it's back there. And what we can also do is we can reset all these styles. So let's say I've made a change here, and instead of going now to all these places and change my font, I can just right click, reset module styles. So now it's been reset. Okay. So we also have that ability to go in and make those resets. Now let's go back to this button and make some changes. Okay. So I'm going to go into the button module, click on design, and I'm going to go into button. Now we already have our custom styles loaded up. So let's say I want to change my border radius. So we want this more as a rectangle, just like that. Okay. And we want to make some changes here. Let's say I change my text to this color. And then over here on the background color, let's use this as our background color. And then that for my text color. So we've made some changes here to this button. So over here, I'm going to add some letter spacing, just like that. And then I'm also going to add a hover background color. So for my hover background color, I'm just going to choose my color here and choose the darker version. Okay, now it's working. Great. So let's say I've done changes to that button, and I would like that button to be the same across my page. So what I'll have to do now is to go into my button module settings, click on design, right click on button, copy styles. So you can see here we have an instance of a button right here. So if I want to change my button, all I have to do now is to right click, paste button styles. So now just by doing those two clicks, I've changed my button on my page. Okay, so that's buttons. This also applies to backgrounds, shadows, and all that kind of stuff. So let me show you how that would work as well. Right, I'm just looking for somewhere where we can add that background style. Okay, so let me come over here and remove the background from this. So I'm going to go to design. Border. So let's add a border to this, right? And I'm just going to reduce adjust my color like that. Okay. Now let's say I need to apply this border style to other parts of my page. I can just right click, copy border styles. And then let's say I want to add my border style to this one right here. I can just paste border styles, and now you see it has that border around it. So this saves me a lot of time in going in and go to each and every one of these to make that change. Okay, so I'm going to save. Now let me try and see if this works on icons. Now I haven't tried this before, so we're just experimenting here. Okay, so I'm going to go into, let's go into the module settings here. Image and icon. So right now we have a custom icon for this. I'm just going to delete this, and then we're going to use an icon. So let's choose, let's say this lock icon. I'm going to go into my image and icon and reduce the size. That's a bit too big. Okay, that's much better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click, copy image and icon styles. And let's see if we can paste this. Okay, so I tried to paste here. Now this wouldn't work because this is an image, and let me show you that. So if I come into this one here and go to image and icon, we see that this is an image. So no style will be added to that image because this is just my icon. But if I added, say, a background color or stuff like that, that would be added. So let's see what happens if I'm going to delete this one here and add an icon. This time I'm just going to add, let's say I go with this one right here, okay, and save. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here and change this icon and then see if I can apply the styles onto that icon. Believe it or not, this is a tricky challenge. So like I said, I haven't done this before. So let's see if this works. So I'm going to come over here to design, image and icon. So we're going to make some changes here. Let's change the color of the icon. Okay, so we've changed the color. And what else can we do? Let's say circle icon. Let's get our circle color. Okay. Let's make this white. Right. Okay. So that's a massive difference. So now let's see if this style can be added to this one right here. So I'm going to right click, copy image and icon styles, and then I'm going to right click, paste icon and image styles, and voila, it actually works. So this is really, really awesome because if you had 6 of these and you had made changes to one of them, you would need to go to each and every one of these to make this style where you have the circle, the color, and the icon within the circle. Okay, so let's take a look at some questions here. Wow, we have a lot of questions. I'm not sure if I want to go through all this. Let's see. Right. JR says, hi, Matt, great features so far. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay. OSW says if we copy a feature and we change the layout, will the copy still be active to work on the new layout? Okay, that's a very good question as well. I'm going to try and do that and see if that works. Asid says, can you copy styles across pages? I'm not sure. Again, I'm going to try that. This will be very interesting. If we can do that, this will be really, really awesome. All right. Okay. Masin says, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it well. Saying, are we able to copy at once, for example, the icon style and heading style and text style for the blurb module? Okay, while we're working on the blurb now, let me try and do that quickly. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my site and let's try that. So I've just right clicked here on the blurb module. So I'm going to copy module styles. Then I'm going to come over here. Okay, that didn't work. Let's see. Let me try this one more time. Okay, let me just save this for now, and I'm going to go in here and just make it basic. So I'm going to go into the settings, and we are going to delete this image and add an icon. Right, so the icon I'm going to use here is this one, and then save. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the styles from here and see if they'll be applied onto that. So let's try copy module styles. No, that doesn't work. So let me go into the styles and go to design. So I have a feeling here that you can only copy these styles from here, okay, from all these items. So you can copy the animation, the filters, the box shadow, the border, and so on. But if you want to copy everything, that wouldn't work. So you would have to go in and copy and paste the text styles. But let me just try one more time here. I'm going to right click, copy module styles. Oh, actually, it works. Right. You know what? I'm really excited. Sorry about that. I didn't even know that I could do this. That is awesome. Wow. Okay. So to answer that question, it actually works. You can actually copy the whole module styles and paste it on a separate module that you need to apply the styles to. In fact, I hadn't tried this and I'm really excited you could do this because I forgot the name now, but the question was, could you copy the whole module style and apply to a different style? Now, I was of the opinion that you can only do it, like for individual styles, but now I've just tried it and it works, and this is great. Again, this is a huge time saver. This is awesome. Okay. Right, so the next one here is we need to try and copy these styles across pages. Again, I haven't tried this, so you guys are putting me on the spot, so I'll have to try it out. So just bear with me. Okay, now before I do that, I just want to check and see if there's more questions here. Sammy says, I'm very excited learning from you every week about new Divi features. Can I have a free layout pack about a musician band, and when will come the Divi theme builder live? Okay. In regards to the free layout packs, we are making 2 free layout packs every single week. So along the lines, definitely there will be a layout pack for musicians. So please be patient. What I'll also do is I will also ping the group, the design team, and also let them know if they are missing this in their upcoming layout packs. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, Paul says when you clicked copy on both items, that's why it didn't work. Okay, yes, that's where the mistake was. Thanks for pointing that out. Daniel says I was doing copy and copy instead of doing copy and paste. You see, that's what happens when you're on a live stream and you're trying to do things as you go. Okay, let's see. Sammy says, that's magic. Working with Divi is so awesome. Great. Hello from Mauritius. Manny says, I do not see the option to add icon in place of images. It is there. I'll just show you briefly. Right, I'm looking for a restaurant listing nearby locations. Can you please help? Usaid, I think we've done something, a layout pack, which added a listing on it. I'm not really sure when it was made, but what I'll do is I will go and check and add the link here in the show notes. Okay, let me check here on Facebook and see if we have any questions. Right. Tran says the update is exciting. Hopefully the dynamic data feature will be released soon. Yes, these features will be coming soon. Manuel says this feature is very powerful. I definitely agree. Um, Bianca says, "Oh, can we use it for complete sections as well?" Yes, you can do that. Amanda says, "So in love with the new feature." Awesome, awesome, awesome. Right, let's go in and try something else. Okay, so I'm going to switch over here to my desktop. And let me just save this for now. Right, let's try something different. Let's try something with borders. Shadows. Okay. What I tend to do here is I like using my click mode so I can see where things are. Like, for example, here I see that we have an image, which is great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here and copy this border, this shadow style. So we can see here on these blurbs, we have a shadow. So I want to copy that shadow and add it onto this image. Okay. So of course, we would have spent so much time trying to work on the shadows here. So I'm going to go into my settings, design, box shadow, copy box shadow styles, and then I'm going to paste it. And you see how quick that was. This is amazing. So we can copy pretty much all these styles, including animations. Okay. So that's the beauty of this new feature. And it may sound like it's a very small thing, but believe me, this was a huge time saver. So you saw how quickly I added that. So let's say I want to add an animation to this. So let's go into the animation and let's use something quite extreme here. Slide direction. Let's slide up. In fact, I'm doing the wrong thing. I need to go into the actual image, go into the image settings, design, animation, and then let's try. Okay, we've got bounce. Okay, so we're bouncing from the center. So let's say I'm happy with this. So what I need to do now is to add that bounce, let's say, to this blurb right here. So I'm going to come in here, go into my module settings, design, and we made that change on the animation here. So I'm going to right click on animation styles, copy animation styles, and then I'm going to come here. In fact, let me save this. I'm going to come here, right click, paste animation style. So now that animation style has been applied to this. Okay, now you might be thinking maybe the animation is only working on the blurbs or images only. No, that particular animation style works pretty much on anything that can be animated. And let me show you how. So I'm going to come over here and let's say I need to animate this whole row. Okay, so I'm going to right click, paste animation style. So the whole row has animated. So that's really cool. So we've done it on the row. Now let's do it on, let's say, this text right here. Okay, this meet our team text. I'm gonna right click, paste animation styles. See, it's working. Okay, now let's do it on a complete section, right? So again, with my mouse over here on the section area, right click, paste animation styles. So the whole section now is animating. So we've transformed our style from this image here, and we've been applying it to pretty much anything. So this is the power of this feature. Okay, so in fact, let me just go here and see if we have any questions. Oh, something happened to my camera. If you can still hear me, please just let me know in the comments. Can you still hear me? Am I still live? Please do let me know in the comments box if I'm still live. Okay. Seems like I'm still live. Okay. Okay, I'm still live. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly check what's happening with my camera. Just bear with me. This camera is trying to mess up the program. Okay, it looks like I'm back on the camera now, but I don't see myself on the live stream. Okay, I'm back. Great. Right, let's see if we have any questions here. Dr. Steve Turner says, yes, Mac, what else can go wrong? Right. Masin says you have a tough day today with all those issues. I know, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Right. I think I came across a question here. Let's go back. Usaid says, Mac, is there any update on Divi custom header? Right now, I don't know anything, to be honest. So it's just a waiting game. But as I mentioned before, these updates are coming very soon. As you can see, we are trying to do updates every week. So it's a matter of time. We are going to have those, and it's going to be really, really awesome. Right. Right. Okay, let me go here and see if we have any questions on Facebook. I think I've demonstrated this. This is Francine, I think, saying, can you paste the animation on only the title which appears inside the full screen header? Now, I mean, the animation style can be added pretty much to anything, as I've just demonstrated a few moments ago. Okay, right. So let's take a look here and see what else we can do. So I'm just going to go back to my test site. So let's load a different page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see if we can work with styles across different pages. So I'm just going to copy my URL here. Open a new tab. Let's see how that works. Okay, so this is the same website. As you can see on the top here, it's mac.local. This is mac.local. So I'm going to copy this animation style and see if I can apply it on across different pages. Okay, I'm going to right click on the animation, copy animation styles, come over here to the new page. Now, this is the moment of truth. I'm going to enable the visual builder. Right, so I'm going to right click. Right, so I don't think that works. Let's try that one more time. I'm going to copy animation styles. Right, this doesn't work across pages. Yep. No, it doesn't work across pages. So I guess that answers that. But as I mentioned, if you want to do all these changes to the page that you're working on, this can be done easily, as I've been demonstrating throughout today's tutorial. Right, let's see if we can do something else here with our styles. Now, if you're just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live, live streaming every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern, both on Facebook and YouTube. Today, we are talking about fluid styles and how they can make your design process awesome by saving you a lot of time. And this is pretty much where you transfer your styles between elements. So what I mean by that is you can just come over here to any of these styles and apply them to any of these elements on your page. And these styles go across all the modules, they go across sections and also rows. So I would recommend that you go and play around with these with this update. It really saves you a lot of time, as I've demonstrated here. And it is a really, really cool feature. And I believe that we are the only we are the only page builder out there that has this feature. Okay, if you have any questions, please do add them in the comments box, because we're just about to round up our live stream today. So I'm going to come over here again and see. I think this is Mindugas, I think. Now, if I haven't pronounced that word, the name well, I'm really sorry. But you do have an interesting question here. And the question is, would be nice to have style presets and reuse them all over the pages. Now, if you had a style preset, ideally the way you'd want to work is make it a global item. So that's when you would actually do that across the pages. So let's say you've gone in, you've worked on your button and you're happy with it, and you've gone to all the instances on your page and you've pasted all the styles. You can just make that button a global style, and that will be applied across your website. So really, as a workflow, to copy these styles from one page to the next page doesn't really work, because if you, let's say, have 20 pages on your website and you want to change the header across all the 20 pages, that will take you a very long time. So ideally what you want to do is, once you've made that change of that text or whatever module you're working on, make it a global item so that it can be applied to all the places across the website. So that's ideally how you'd work with. But in terms of let's say single pages that you want to make quick changes to, this is where this feature shines, because you can just right click and paste all those little style changes. Okay. Dr. Steve Turner says, "Hi Mac, can you save your changes in a separate file to import it into another layout?" Absolutely. So let's say, in fact, let me show you quickly how this works. So let's say I've done all these changes, I'm happy with them, I'm just going to save this. So what you can do is you can save this whole layout by coming here to the bottom, clicking the Save to Library item, and let's call this layout Test. Save it to Library. So once you've saved it to the library and you want to create a new page, you can always go in. In fact, I'm going to open my site in a new tab, enable the Visual Builder, and then all you have to do is to come all the way down here to your expand settings, click the plus button, go to your saved layouts, and test. Here it is. So if you click on text, it takes a moment, it loads up, and there you have it. Okay? So you can actually save it to your library and then open it up. Okay? Right, so let's check here and see if we have any more questions. And by the way, you can also save sections themselves and use them later on in a different layout as well. Right, I'm going to check here on Facebook and see if we have any questions. I can see a lot of hearts coming through. Thanks a lot for that. Appreciate it. Okay. Casey says, how can one export or package a full page as a layout to be sold? Right, pretty much what you have to do is to go to each and every page, save that page into your library, and there's also a feature where you can save all the pages, right, in your design. So let's say you have the About Us, the Services, the Home, the Contact page. You can actually save all these in one JSON file. It's called a .json, JSON. Okay, so when you sell it, what you need to do is package that and zip it. And then when someone downloads it, they then install that on their own default WordPress website and add those pages and add those designs to those pages. Now, when you package it that way, it comes with all the fonts that you've used. It comes with all the images, all the animations. So it's a complete design. It's not a design which comes in with just temporary content. It comes with the actual design that you'll have designed. And there are also other ways. There's a plugin called Jedi, Jedi. It also packages the design into a child theme. So by doing that, then when the person downloads that child theme, they can install it on their own website. So that's how it would work. But yes, it's quite straightforward to do. And this is how we were packaging all our layouts before we added them onto the library. Okay, let's see. Bob says, will the custom menus have Schema? I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm not really sure about the features and what it's going to have. But one thing that I can tell everyone right now is with all the features that we add onto Divi, we try to be cutting edge. We try to add all the features because at the end of the day, we want you to design websites that have pretty much all the features that you need. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to make an update which does not solve what the community wants. So we listen to what you say and we try our best to apply those things if they can be applied onto our updates. So I'm really positive that we will have all these features added in there, and all these features that you're asking me about the upcoming features. Yes, we are working very hard behind the scenes to make sure that every time we release something, it does not break what you have, because that's another frustration. So there's our developers team are doing a lot of testing to make sure that every time we release a new feature like this, it doesn't break something when you update your website, because that can be also very, very frustrating. Because some of you have design agencies, some of you are freelancers. So you can imagine if you've made an update for this feature like the fluid styles and that breaks your whole website. I'm sure that'll be very frustrating. So we are trying to keep that balance where we are adding all these features, but at the same time, making Divi as solid as possible and as stable as possible going forward. But look forward to a lot of features coming through. I mean, it's going to be very exciting. I'm also really excited about this as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, let me just check here on Facebook and see, on YouTube and see if we have any questions. Wayne says, Mac, are these presentations recorded and offered offline for those of us who misses a session? Wayne, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, I would suggest that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you click the bell notification. And for those of you who haven't clicked the bell notification, please click the bell notification, because when I go live, you won't be notified. Okay? But if you click the bell notification, you will be notified when I go live. Now, back to Wayne. All these live presentations are all on our YouTube channel. So if you've missed most of it, you can always go back to our YouTube channel and it will be there. We don't delete them. And also, if you're watching on Facebook, it'll also be on our Facebook page. So for those of you that missed the beginning or that missed the whole live stream altogether, you can always go back and watch it later. Okay. Right. So I guess this is all that I have for you in today's Divi feature update. For everyone that has joined me today, I would like to say thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. And for those of you that didn't see our show last week, we are really sorry. As I mentioned earlier on, we were doing some final tweaks to this update. We wanted to make sure that it was perfect before we released it. So that's why we had to make some last minute changes. But I'd like to say to everyone that tuned in today, thank you all. I really, really appreciate it. I hope to see you again next week, Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern. So if you haven't clicked that bell notification, please do click that bell notification. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you again next week on Monday. Take care.